we understand you have an important work with media literacy, and we would like to have a concept. How do you understand the media literacy?
You know, the media education has a long tradition, not a long, but long enough, in Europe since the 1920s. And the first step of reacting with media education to media was, especially in the church environment, to find an answer to what is people doing with media, and what is especially what they thought, what is media doing with the people, the effect. And in order to not get affected from the media, sexualized, secularized, modernized, fashionableized, you know. So the church developed a media education program by learning how to avoid the media use. Always thinking at that time still that reality is another reality than the reality we are living with, you know. And there was somehow a fight between the institutions, the educational institutions, schools and education, and media as a means of education. Because of course you get information and entertainment and advertisement and everything, and this also educates your mind, you know. And the idea was the media education should be an instance of avoiding effects of media, of finding enough personal immunity not to be dependent. And soon then, within the development, they learned this does not make sense. Media is a part of life and of an organized life, so it does not make sense to say avoid the media. Or what it was, for example, if you did not work well enough in school or at home, you got a punishment. You are not allowed to look TV this night, you know, tonight, you know, which is crazy, of course, yeah. So then, the next step was developed a critical analysis of media, the critical content analysis. Learn to criticize the content in order to get immune to what the media, always thinking the media does the effect. Within the development of the media theory, then, it was clear the question is not what does media with people, the question is what does people with media, because the use of media is done in the environment of your own cultural life, and media is not a world besides your own life. It's one factor in your life, you know. So then the idea was, if young people learn to understand how media is done, manipulation and things like that, then they understand the effect of media, and they can get immune to the media. So if they do their own films, they learn how to make tricks. If they do their own newspapers, then they learn the pressure of making news, for example, or they learn how different is the selection of news and whatever. So this is the so-called action idea of media education. And the next step was then, this is not enough. It doesn't make sense to repeat journalism or making films just in order to know and understand how it is made. This, of course, makes critical, but it's not media education in the sense to integrate media as a factor of organizing your own life within the environment of the society. Now that way is understanding media education as, in German, Medienbildung, which really means media education, not pedagogy, but education as an entire understanding of media. And understanding media, which is literacy, means understanding media as a part of your life, but knowing what is the limited function of them, and to learn a responsible and a reasonable and a balanced use of media, especially responding to the new media, where we are confronted with phenomena like getting depending from media use. Young people that they have no other world than just the media world for their own understanding, and they organize all their life by the media. And my position now in that is, we have to accept that all life is mediated, and don't make a difference between the mediation here and any other use of media. Media is media. All life is getting to observe what is the environment and to make a decision how far I am a part of the environment or not. And the idea is then to learn a social intelligence in using, in getting arranged with the society, balancing that. Balancing between assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation means I'm assimilated to the environment, to the cultural or social or medial environment, and I'm depending from it as far as I'm assimilated. Accommodating means to use the environment for my own interests, to adopt the environment, the media environment, for my interest. Means I'm responsible for my life, and I learn to use the media as a means of organizing and executing my own life. And now, so media education is not something which makes me better in comparison to others, because I can use the media. In this understanding, media education or media literacy is a social good, is a cultural good, and not a personal one. So that's why I'm saying we need a concept of mediality in the society, and a concept of communicability. How is this society able to communicate reasonable enough and also authentically enough?
Then in this sense, the educators, the theologians and journalists and everybody is together in one branch of knowledge.
Yeah.
USP, University here in São Paulo, is launching a graduation course called Educomunicação.
Okay.
It means the intention is gather the pedagogue with the communication people.
You know, the idea in this is EduMedia is threefold. The first is use media as a means of learning. Of course, but this is always a question that we understand the learning or the teaching process as a technical process using effects in order to transport knowledge. It's a very conservative understanding of what is knowledge. As knowledge would be something which I have to get as my own possess, and the easier means you use for that, or the faster, or the more visionable, the better it is. It's a very conservative understanding. But it could be also, it could be more. It could be, say, I learned to understand the society by understanding the media. Understanding the world in the media society means to understand the media. So then I can accept and say, yes, this is okay. This was the first. It's more the didactical dimension. The pedagogical dimension is, in the sense of pedagogy of media, is media education as a means of learning, and it's a normative concept of using media for your life. As any pedagogy is normative, is working with normative goals, of course. Yeah? And the third is media education as a Medienbildung, as a way to learn, to develop your own life in relation to the society in a media or mediality environment. This is participation, is a point in that. Authenticity is a part in that. So this means this media education is how shall I say? Is a way to learn an emancipatory, not a repressive, an emancipatory use of media in, let's say, 3 or 4 dimensions. The one is shaping media as a means of participation on society. The other one is criticizing media, also as understanding a criticism of how and who is participating in society, excluding minorities or whatever, or including them. And media production as their own responsibility and ability to use your competence of mediality in technical sense or in organizational or managerial sense to express yourself as a part of the society, and always to say the society is how we communicate about it.